Yeah. But like, honestly, like to teach you kind of need a PhD in jazz to teach it even
That
like
sounds fake. That doesn't sound like a real degree.
But my choice,
I have a PhD in jazz.
If I didn't...
Yeah, you really are a funny guy. You thought about comedy? Like, no, dick.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, you can't like it.
PhDs are kind of a scam in general about intellectual pursuits.
Yeah.
But
Like, what's your dissertation?
creative.
Just fucking...
It's
probably like Stevie Ray Vaughan levels.
Just tasty licks. You hold that stupid thing on the side.
Yeah. But
For like assignments, was it just like what is? I don't fucking understand music. What is music school like?
I mean, it was kind of like Hogwarts.
Mike, you straight from the south side. Mike, I'm just so happy to be here right now. Real Rap Podcast.
Yeah, if you can get my goat with a comment, I'm like, you earned it. You earned it.
There's some videos I don't even make it through the whole video before. I'm just like, let me just go straight to the comments.
Oh, I love scrolling comments. They give you so much context. You're like, oh, everybody hates her? What? She's divorcing her husband. Tell me more.
Yeah. It's almost like I refuse to make up my mind until somebody makes it up for me.
Isn't that a horrible... I do the same thing. Isn't that a horrible mentality to have?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I want confirmation about my feelings.
Yeah.
If I feel positively about something or if I feel negatively, I want confirmation. And if not, I'm very swayable.
I borderline don't watch like just straight up news anymore. I have a handful of like podcasts or personalities. They digest news and then they give it to me, and that's kind of the same thing. Which the news is kind of swayed for whoever is presenting it, but then I don't even check that source. I check another source that's checking that source to tell me their views on the source, and I'm like, yeah,
like that person I trust mostly. They probably got it right. They got it like 85% right.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Now let me go ahead and go to this green room and act like an expert on this.
Yeah. Oh my god. See, it seems like comics that like want to talk about either politics or just like topical stuff. They're always the ones who know the least about it.
Yeah.
Is the thing. You know, there are people that just want to hear their own voices, and it's like, is yours the voice that we need though? Like, I'm not positive that that's the case.
Yeah. Are you that guy?
No.
You just...
I'm not talking right now.
You just wax poetic, which is shocking because this is a total talking-based medium.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think a lot. That's why I like stand-up, because I can prepare, and like be like, well, this is exactly, and like there's a clear yes or no for everything. Off stage I'm pretty fucking quiet most of the time. I like listening to people. Like I listen to pods and stuff like that too. And then sometimes I'll regurgitate stuff to my girlfriend. But like I'm always kicking myself internally when I'm doing it. It's like, dude, this is just what Hassan said. Fuck you.
Hassan Piker?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you watch him.
Is there anything worse on the planet than somebody trying to get you addicted to their podcast?
It's a nightmare, and I do it to everybody. I hate it when
I do it.
I'll do it too.
I do it. I can't not do it.
I'm like, you don't get it. And they're like, no, we get it. We just don't care.
He will change your life.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen to it. Like I get queasy if somebody's like, hey, watch this little 13-second thing. Like you open your DMs and you got a few friends that are like, this clip, and I take maybe 2-3 days to respond to it, and it'll be hilarious. But you want me to watch 2.5 hours of something,
right?
Yeah.
That you find informative.
That's another thing. Why are podcasts so long these days? 3-hour podcasts? How long do these go for? I'm insulting you.
No. It's right when you start to get that little itchy burning sensation in your asshole. You're just going, all right.
I just feel like there's no need for like 3.5-hour podcasts. It's like crazy. Who's sitting down and listening? Like that's demanding a lot of your audience.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes like I'll put a podcast on like while I'm like practicing or
That's
something.
A good point. Kind of like an audiobook.
Yeah, and then I can, when it sucks, I'll just tune out.
Yeah.
Like, and then I don't know. I think that's almost the point of it. Sometimes it's just like this running thing that can like just be a part of your stream of consciousness.
Like background noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I get
like
that.
that you have the stage to get out your Dr. Jekyll, because you are very subdued.
My Dr.
Any other
Jekyll?
time I see you, but we've seen your act.
Yeah.
You go hard in the you're waka flocka on stage, bro.
That's like I don't know.
Where else was that getting out before you started doing
Oh,
comedy?
I just destroyed friendships. Like it was
This makes sense.
I would just say that stuff off stage and it would be a problem. Like and that like cuz that's how my dad is. So, and I have that in me too. Like it's cool too cuz like with comics I can say crazy shit and it's okay for the most part anyway. But like, and I'm better at it too now. But like, dude, fucking in college, bro, I would just talk about Hitler just at parties, and it was just a nightmare.
Hitting on girls.
Sometimes.
And probably something super obscure, like, man, no, you don't understand. His watercolors were actually, they were tremendous.
They were
People are like,
astounding.
bro, what's wrong with you,
You're getting
Hunter?
teary-eyed talking about Hitler's painting.
Really good.
His eye was really incredible.
It's like it's almost worse than the Holocaust that like people don't appreciate these.
It was asymmetrical and balanced at the same time. Like he had a natural talent, and he kept the trains running on time.
I mean, how did getting into stand-up affect you? Like, did you find like a better balance?
I felt I for me it was like the complete, like when the shoe fell, I felt like the biggest asshole on planet Earth, because I felt like I was always this personality, and had stories, a couple of go-to things I know would make people laugh. But I didn't start comedy until I was 30. I was in Omaha, Nebraska, and got locked up in like county jail for like 2 months, and on dumb stuff, nothing cool. And one of the guys I was in there was like, yo, why don't, like, you're funny, like, why don't you do comedy? I've been doing comedy since I'm like 18 years old. When we get out of here, come find me and start doing comedy. And I grew up like military family. I was in the military for a little bit, moved around a lot, and it never there was no comedy clubs on base in other countries growing up like that. So I never saw the leap. I was studying comedy, loved comedy, but it never in my brain was like, that's something you can do.
Right.
Yeah.
So when he told me that, and I was like, wait, that's it? You just do it? What?
Yeah.
Like you just show up? Well, holy shit. And then
Yeah. When you were moving around, did you live in big cities or just more smaller towns?
I mean, first moved to after my mom and my pop, I was already like a year old, and then we moved to Okinawa, Japan.
Oh shit.
And then from there we moved to England. So I was in Okinawa for like 3-4 years, like kindergarten up. Then went to England for like another 4 years. Then moved to Nebraska for like 2 years, and then moved out to mainland Japan for high school.
Wow.
And then I joined the military and went to a few states like California, Colorado, or whatever like that.
No shit.
Yeah.
There's always in that army-based culture when you were a kid.
Super duper like specific culture for the military. Yeah, it's kind of I mean you can equate to any culture. Like if it was a I don't know, like it's just real encapsulated, especially when you're overseas. But I tell people like I think everybody kind of subconsciously develops that our team, their team kind of mentality. And if you grow up born and raised in Chicago, you're like South Side versus West Side, or this skin color versus that skin color, this culture versus that culture, or I don't know, whatever neighborhood versus whatever neighborhood, right? But when it's like the military, you're literally in a fenced off section on a base with, for the most part, other Americans. And then you're in a country that at some point in time, USA blew up and then was like, all right, we just live here now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
that is
like you
bizarre.
feel kind of like you feel those vibes, but the us versus them kind of vibe is like, all right, we're all Americans. We're all in this military clique together. It's military gang versus whoever else is outside that fence type thing. So, but when I get to like Chicago, Because after I transitioned out of the military, that's when I started becoming a civilian. I didn't understand civilians. Like military, like you probably don't have, unless they're in your family, you probably don't have a lot of military friends because they stay specifically in their group.
Right.
And then you look at civilians through a certain lens, you know? Mm-hmm. And probably the other way around. I'll tell you something interesting. One of the more interesting lessons I ever got in school. Social studies teacher. So this is mainland Japan, high school. I'm probably 10th, 11th grade, and social studies teacher. We had desks where if that circle, just imagine a chair here, chair on that side, chair here, north, south, east, west, right? Mm-hmm. And they face each other, and we all had assigned seating. And in my high school, it's every color you can imagine, every race, because it's military. It's a conglomerate. And then a lot of military guys marry women from other countries. So every mix you can think of, Japanese, Korean, Filipino, and black, white, whatever, everything's mixed and everything's everybody. And he's like, tomorrow when we come in class, everybody just sit exactly wherever you want. No assigned seating tomorrow when you guys come in. We get this class the next day, and he had redid all the seats, so it's a grid now. It's just like a row of 5 and then another row of 6 or 7. And he was like, everybody just sit wherever you want. We all sat, and then when he started the class, he was like, all right, look around, tell me what you see. Sure as shit. You make a grid system a la Chicago. All the black people were over here.
No shit.
All the white people were over here. The Japanese, the Japanese exchange students were over there. All the Filipino kids were over there. All the Hispanic kids were right here. And then there was a few mixers here and there and whatnot. But everybody just kind of bloop. We just put and you weren't thinking like, finally, I don't have to be next to that stinky race. You're just like, I'm going to sit next to the people I socialize with the most. Yeah. And
people I share.
Yeah. And at no point in time was I thinking like, I'm going to sit next to the black people. I'm just sitting next to the people that I shoot the shit with the most. And then when he started that, I was like, oh, we were all like, oh well. Mm-hmm.
Did you do that knowing that was going to happen?
Not an inkling whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it didn't occur to anybody, like before we started class, nobody was like, well, look at this social experiment.
Shit.
That's just thrown in our faces. Whoa, what are we learning here? He just said it, and it was like,
yeah. The grad school I went to was 90% black, and there were like 4 white kids in the jazz program.
Yeah,
and we were fucking tight, dude. We didn't mean to be. It just kind of happened.
Imagine how much a jazz school with mostly white people would suck.
Most of them are mostly white people, and they do all
really?
Suck. Yeah, jazz education is super white. Like I went to the only HBCU that has a strong jazz program that's left.
Oh no shit!
It's mostly white people teaching other white people how to play the blues. And it's very sad.
There we go.
Feels counterintuitive.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Another episode of Real Rap Podcast, episode 41. And another round with some of my comedy buddies. And I am really looking forward to this. It feels exactly like the day that it is. Like I'm trying to give it my best, and bless their hearts, they are as well. But no, I have some excellent comics, and we're gonna get into a great conversation. Immediately over there, we have the very funny, very talented Kayley Horton, and then over here, Hunter Hirsh. If you guys wouldn't mind letting the folks know how long you've been in the city, how long you've been in the comedy game, what you got going on.
Let's see. There's multiple questions there. I've been doing comedy for like 4.5 years now.
Oh.
I've been in the city for like 2.5 years.
Okay.
Coming up on 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then it started in Pittsburgh.
I didn't know you were a transplant.
Yeah.
You're from Pittsburgh?
No, from upstate New York, but I started comedy in Pittsburgh. I got my
Okay.
grad degree there. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And I've been here ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was the degree in?
A secondary childhood education, English education.
Secondary.
So like middle school up.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay, very nice.
The larger children, yes.
Yeah.
We both have useless master's degrees.
Yours is
more.
useful.
No, your thing is more useful.
No, don't give me that.
Yours is
Shit.
way cooler.
I have drumsticks upstairs. I'm going to bring him down to start a roll when he tells you what his degree is in. Oh, I'm ready.
I've been here for like 3.5 years.
Okay.
I've been doing comedy for I guess 4.
Okay.
what was the other part? Shit. I started in Durham, North Carolina.
Yeah.
I just moved out here pretty quickly.
Huh.
How much did Durham suck?
Durham was fine.
It was cool?
People like, so there's that triangle, right? There's Raleigh and Durham and like Chapel Hill, but mostly Raleigh and Durham.
Yeah.
And like everyone shits on Durham, but to be complete, Durham is where the black people live. Like, and it's fine. It's a cool place. There's a lot going on. And just Raleigh is full of just a bunch of hoity-toity like white people. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know what the difference between the cities were. I just was thinking because it's North Carolina.
Yeah.
oh. No, every time I talk to people are like, Durham's fucking run down. You're going to get... It's like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
It is Bible Belty. Like,
My pops from North Carolina,
yeah, there's a lot of... there were a couple times where people were like, tried to evangelize me and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd be like, no.
Well, that's where you were doing school at, right?
Wait, what?
You were doing school in North Carolina?
Yeah. I was doing,
And why were you in school with so many black folks?
Because I chose the one good jazz program in the fucking country.
Because your degree is in jazz.
Yeah. Which is, yeah. I don't know why people let me do that. I don't know why someone didn't step in and be like, what about business? But, yeah.
I mean, it's in the arts, man.
Yeah. No, it is cool, and I am happy about it. But
Now, what's odd is both of you guys started off East Coast, ended up Midwest.
Yeah.
What was that journey like?
well, this is where you come to get good at stand-up. Like, my understanding, because you can go to LA and just fuck around, or you can go to New York and starve to death, or you can come here and like actually
have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved out here with my girlfriend. She got a job in tech, so and it just worked out. So, kind of.
I like it. And you picked the two most struggling artist forms of entertainment possible.
He was smart though. He was like, I'm never gonna make any money. I need to link up with somebody who can make some money. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get on that shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm trying to get health insurance via, you
gotta find a balding guy.
You don't.
That works at AT&T.
Listen, I've gone down this path before. I know.
Oh, I saw one on the train here. He had the friar tuck going on.
Really?
Like, I mean, perfect. And then, I mean, just a 1973 UFO crop circle.
I feel so bad for, like, that's like the one thing that you can't really hide it. Unless you wear a hat, but then everybody knows.
Yeah.
It's like,
You just have to get in great shape to try to make up for it.
right.
That's all you
right.
can do.
And like some people look good bald, but overwhelmingly most people don't, you know?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's like, what can you do? Like you're just
And no shade whatsoever.
No tea, no shade.
Because that is a motor scooter to have to overcompensate.
Yeah, no, it like really
as
is
far
difficult.
as for your confidence or whatever.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
And you can't hide it like a little penis, you know? Like,
Yeah. And mark you.
or a gymongous clit like
Mark
I
you.
have. It's basically a little penis.
Mark you. Heavily considered. If we found out that in 7 months they landed somebody on Mars, you'd be like, okay, all
Yeah.
right. I'm not too excited about it.
Yeah.
But if you're a dude and this part's missing,
Yeah.
fuck your life.
Yeah.
We got nothing for you.
I'm starting to lose, like, it's starting to get further back up
Yeah.
here, and I'm really scared.
Really?
Yeah.
You could start there's like preventative care.
Oh, there is?
I think so.
Yeah. Like hymns or whatever.
Something like
just,
that. I think there's a
put
bunch
it-
of them.
I should listen to more podcasts. I'm sure there's.
Yeah, there's certainly some
I'm
options.
skipping those
Yeah,
ones.
you might have jinxed yourself because you were the one that got us on this whole little talk.
I'm just saying, you'd think that there'd be they'd have figured it out by now.
There's like
At the very
hair plugs.
least.
Like we put men on the moon, but we can't solve baldness. you
Elon
know?
Musk is literally starting human trials for a computer chip in your brain
Right.
that unlocks every language ever.
Right.
And he never wanted. He's burrowing tunnels under LA to just jetsons your car.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he has cars that drive themselves,
Yeah.
and nothing for
Yeah,
this.
this
Nothing.
goes- sorry.
Where's the research, guys?
What I've done the research, people. How did you not end up in New York?
So I'm from upstate New York originally, which is fine. There's not a whole lot going there. It's more like country. But then I would visit New York City a lot, and I loved it when I would go visit. Moved to Pittsburgh, and I don't know why, but before I even moved to Pittsburgh, I had it in my mind. Pittsburgh, then Chicago, because Chicago I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I just like everything I'd ever heard.
Is
about.
that not the greatest?
It's my literal favorite movie ever.
It is.
It
is in my top 3.
It's so excellent.
Like yeah. It's hard to deny his coolness. Like, and I'm sad to this day that they didn't make a part 2 of what happened when Cameron's dad got home.
Oh my God! Yeah. Can you imagine?
Well,
do you remember the Super Bowl commercial a few years back where Matthew Broderick, it was like a car commercial, but nobody knew it at first.
Yeah.
He was like, how could I possibly go to work on a day like this? And everybody was like, Ferris Bueller too! And they screwed us over as like a Hyundai commercial or something stupid.
I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him be the dad in Ferris Bueller 2, and his kid is like, I don't know, Matt Rife or something.
Oh my God! Do not get into the universe.
I don't want to deal with that.
It's no longer my favorite movie.
It is a perfect.
It's a perfect movie. It sure is.
Yeah. Who was that? Charlie Sheen.
Yes.
Just like he didn't even require makeup for his scene.
Just him.
He just came from a 3-day bender.
Yeah. I think Cameron Fry's my favorite character. Ever.
I used to walk around when Cameron was in.
Yeah.
Let my
Cameron go.
When I was still drinking, like every hangover felt exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly like that.
Yeah, I would like. Well, I'm. I'll talk to Hunter all the time. I'll get on my mood swings where I'm like having a great time, then I'm just like so depressed, and I immediately I'm like, Hunter, talk me through it or whatever. And it's like that's how I feel. I feel like I'm either Ferris, where I'm like everything's good, we're having a great time. Yeah. You're a square, or I'm Cameron, and I'm like I cannot move. Like I refuse. I can't. There's no middle ground.
Are you allowed to make that movie? And I'm not talking about, well, they said this word or that word, but are you allowed to make the movie where there's no consequence? Every puzzle piece falls into place. You know what I mean? Like everything wins for the winner with no consequence.
Like, would it be interesting to watch?
If you objectively look at it, Ferris Bueller was a punk of garbage.
Oh, what a little...
He was the worst kind of human being you could possibly have. Completely self-absorbed, neurotic,
bad friend.
Sociopath.
Many would argue.
I highly doubt his relationship worked past
with Sloan.
The
come on,
first.
no.
You think they made it past the first semester?
Yeah,
not even.
That's
a little
why we
bit.
don't need a sequel because it will. No. All the holes.
The reality of it all. Like no.
Right, but it is a perfect day.
Like the perfect.
You can have one perfect day, but you can't have a perfect life.
Perfect day. Yeah. And I don't want to see repercussions for any of his actions.
No. Exactly.
He destroyed lives in there.
Oh yeah.
He destroyed Rooney's life.
Well, Rooney had it coming.
Rooney was doing his job.
Oh, it's not his job to go through the doggy door of his student's home.
He was right.
He took that shit way too far.
Ferris, let's take a look at it was a perfect day for Ferris.
A perfect day for Ferris.
Well, let's take a look at Rooney's day, right? He's trying to keep the kids in line.
There had to be so many laws he broke.
He did, but he was a man pushed to his limits.
I can't believe you're on Rooney's side right now.
I'm taking a look at his day because I never have.
Rooney's day on.
Ferris was on his 9th absence. And then he noticed.
9 times.
Yep, then he nine.
I don't remember Ferris being absent 9 times.
Then he noticed somebody hacked into like the second computer ever made ever, and then changed it to 2 days. So you have like
his
cyber
parents had
crime.
so much goddamn money, by the way.
And
he has a new high-tech computer, and his sister has a car.
He has a keyboard that
mansion.
simulates like nausea.
Yeah.
So he has cyber crimes. He has somebody hacking into the school's computer system, like Russia.
It's also war games. That's
It's war games.
That's the little known
side plot. Then the entire school. He takes money from kids. They start a GoFundMe for Ferris. Disrupt the school.
Hey
by
Ferris,
the way.
how's your bod?
Somebody orders a stripper to a high school kid's house, right?
Yeah.
Then he's on TV. He calls in a fake death.
Yeah. Yeah.
He perpetrates Salone's father.
Yeah.
Grand
Steals-
Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, certainly amongst his sins.
Perpetrates a sausage king of Chicago.
Yeah, Abe Froman.
To steal a meal, right?
Right.
And all he wants is for all of his students to get a quality education.
Listen.
And he tracked him down.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off is not about logic, Mike. It is about joy and whimsy.
That was that one. Wasn't there like a specific director that was directing like all of those feel goody?
John Hughes did a lot of them. That one, like Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink.
Yeah. I saw Breakfast Club. I don't know if I ever saw like Pretty in Pink or whatever.
Pretty in Pink's fine.
Weird Science was always my movie.
I don't think I ever watched Weird
Never seen
Science.
that.
No, yeah, of course you haven't. What was you're into that? How high on the list is that one movie with the guy that plays drums and J.K. Simmons?
Oh, Whiplash?
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Like good enough for you to watch it once a week?
No, I mean, okay.
I've watched half of this movie with Hunter, and it's hilarious, his commentary.
It's like anytime there's a movie about like a field, they're gonna get it wrong.
Right.
Like there's no way around that. And it's just like it's a good movie. Like I enjoy the movie, but there's just, like the dialogue doesn't make any sense. Like the J.K. Simmons
rushing and dragging
shouldn't be there. Like also the stuff J.K. Simmons does would result in immediately being fired and probably put in prison. Like, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like, just a lot of the fact that kid loves Buddy Rich is kind of stupid. Like,
Wait, explain why that's stupid.
so Buddy Rich, he was an asshole. Like, you know how people talk about how James Brown was like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And like just like a huge douchebag.
Yeah.
Buddy Rich was sort of famous for that. And he was a great band leader, and he did play the fuck out of the drums because he did a lot of coke.
Yeah.
But he didn't like contribute to like the language. Like if you like a drummer like Elvin Jones,
Okay.
like people try to play like Elvin Jones now. And when you listen to like cats that are big right now, like Ulysses Owens Jr., you can hear he listens to a lot of Elvin. And
Okay.
Like, no one sounds like Buddy Rich because he was just a dude that just did coke and played fast and yelled at his band after.
So there wasn't a lot of like technique going on?
There
was
was
just a mathematician?
lot of technique, but there wasn't like it didn't contribute in a way. Like I don't know. Like the reason people talk about John Coltrane so much is because after he did what he like, everyone was trying to do that for a while, and like his thumbprint was on the music forever. And Buddy Rich, he just ran a band that was good and was an asshole, and he sold a lot of tickets, which is cool, you know. It's sort of like Kevin Hart sells a shit ton of tickets.
Yeah,
no one's doing Kevin Hart. You know?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like
not
that.
anymore. Once you, I think for comics, once you cross a certain plateau of success and you become, I guess meme is probably how you would describe it now.
He's a little memey.
Yeah. Once you cross over,
This is no Kevin Hart slander. I love Kevin Hart.
I love him.
But-
But when he was the underdog, when it was Soul Plane was bootlegged across America, and he was all right. I used to get sick to my stomach hearing everybody
Yeah.
for all right.
Yeah.
And then by the time his third special came out, and everybody just instinctively thought, okay, he has like $100 million,
Right.
and he's with the Rock. I think as soon as he did Jumanji,
Yeah.
everybody was like, all right, dude.
Yeah. He was in a couple Ice Cube movies, and they were like, yeah, he's good.
Yeah, when he
Yeah.
was doing Paper Soldiers, like when Rockefeller and Jay-Z and Dame Dash were just scrimping together old drug money to put a production together that probably just went out on DVD, everybody loved him.
Right.
As soon as you're in big blockbuster, whatchamacall, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why you still consider, you probably have to still consider Professor Chappelle, like, is in it, because he stopped, he walked away from that whole,
Yeah.
the demon, quote unquote.
Yeah. When he came back, though, everybody was doing him. You know what I mean? Everyone was sitting on a
Yeah.
stool all of a sudden. Everybody's slapping their leg with the mic.
Trying to be
I think it's a lot less now.
Oh, yeah.
But like 5, 6, 7 years ago.
I've definitely started seeing the Shane Gillis hands.
Yeah, dude. I do that. I
know-
hate it.
You know, I feel like Shane Gillis has taken Kyle Kinane's spot in a lot of
Okay.
senses.
Yeah.
I could more than two hands comics that are just trying to do Kyle
Yeah.
Kinane. I think it's less now. It's like Shane Gillis.
Yeah,
more
yeah.
so.
Gillis
And
is
I
like-
can't. There's a certain level of thievery of course, but there's also a certain level of just you absorb it.
Yeah.
Right, and it's
I've
like
caught myself. I've
For
caught
sure.
myself like 10 sets in going, oh my, oops.
for sure. And there's like, especially if you're new to comedy, it's like you imitate voices that you think are good. That
Oh,
you like.
yeah.
I was just doing Jeselnik my first year of comedy. That people were like,
Sure.
to stop doing that, and then
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
better
yeah.
at it and you develop your own voice.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like you mimic the people that you think are great. Of course you do,
Yeah.
There's still like stuff with it, like do you guys know Eddie Izzard?
Yeah.
I think he's kind of like slowed down Robin Williams.
Mm.
Like, and there's just like
He was like he cross-dressed, no?
yeah, he crossed, but like
And then but definitely did.
Yeah, like
so you're saying he slowed down on cocaine?
it's like Robin without coke, basically. And that's why he's still with us, probably.
Yeah.
But like I think that naturally kind of like it's like Louis and George Carlin. Like there's obviously like connective tissue.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
Well, I think almost you could probably take Louis, you could probably take Richard and Carlin, blend them together, and you get Louis. Because George Carlin was like, "This is how I see the world."
Yeah.
Richard Pryor was like, "This is who I am."
Yeah.
Raw, butt naked. And if you mix them both together, this is how I see the world because this is who I am. And
Yeah.
I watched my daughter take a shit on the carpet.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, interesting enough. There's a feeling, if you could do me a favor, Kayley, and be the voice of every woman on the planet.
Oh, perfect. I'm great at that.
There is a spirit, and correct me if I'm wrong. It feels like there's a vibe of I hear words like toxic masculinity, and there. I think we were talking a little bit before. There's always a struggle of us versus them, my camp, your camp, and it feels like the camp is girls are taking over, and masculinity is bad. Am I tweaking? Is that a narrative
Do you
that's
mean
going
like
around?
in comedy?
In
Or
kind
just
of
in
like
life?
I almost see it if we're doing the art imitates life imitates
Sure.
da 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 da. Not in real life, not in 9 to 5s. Do your thing.
Sure,
but
sure, sure.
when it comes to the betrayal of whatchamacall, like I don't know whether you see it in comedy. I think movies are playing a large part in it. Not necessarily even just women roles or things of that nature, because I see it in a lot. But for the sake
Right.
of women, is this a narrative that you pick up on, or is it just another slice of the bigger pie?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a thing. I think for the thing was, it's like everyone, like, you're stupid at this point if you're like, yeah, straight white men have had it hard this whole time. It's like, well, everybody had it hard for sure.
Sure, yeah.
But like, it's clear that that's a thing, whatever. And then women kind of flipped it, white women specifically, because white women have the most power in terms of women,
Fair enough, right.
obviously. And they were like, actually, women, you're all toxic and stuff. And then, like, to be heard, I feel like they were just 10 times louder. Do you know what I mean? So everybody's like, oh my God, all women hate men. It's like, no, most women like most men.
Yeah.
I would argue. I think it's that we have to kind of scream at the men that we hate in order for it to even be acknowledged.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Where it's like, I definitely do that thing of like being like, men do this. I like generalize things. And
Yeah.
it's like, of course I'm not talking about all men. Like but if you're getting defensive about it and you're like, well, not me, I'm like, oh, you're a problem, aren't you?
You're one of them.
Whereas if you're like, oh yeah, sometimes guys do that, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, you get it. Like clearly not all men are the problem. No, you can't lump everybody into one demographic.
Yeah,
It doesn't make
yeah.
any sense ever.
It feels like there is a personality to, like, I don't care if I'm in an Uber and he careens off a Lakeshore Drive and splashes right into Michigan. And then I have to wait for the pressure to build with the water on the outside of the car, crash out of the window, swim to save my life. I'm not gonna write a review and give you 1 star. It's just not.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
do that as a human.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have that ability. But there is somebody. If I'm about to go to a new restaurant,
Sure.
I go straight to the Yelp reviews, and I'm
Sure.
like, Kaylee's auntie wrote this
Right,
for
right,
sure.
right.
I will never. I take advantage of it. but I
Right.
can never write a review. I can't give you 1 star on any. I don't care who you are, what you've done.
Yep.
But those voices, the people that are capable of doing
Yes.
that, like it's
the loudest minority, because it is like the minority of people that are like being so obnoxious, but they're always the fucking loudest.
yeah.
And that's why we hear them the most.
And I'm not even sure that they support the causes that they're up
No.
against.
Oh my God.
Right?
No, it's just good to be heard, I guess. I don't know.
I think people just want other people to listen, and often they don't really care how they go about doing that.
Yeah. Both of you guys are right. It's good to be heard. I mean, we are the pinnacle of give me attention.
That generation, for
Man,
sure.
All eyes on me. I don't like being around people unless I'm the one talking.
Right.
I think a lot of times you don't even realize that that's why you're doing it, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, grifters, people type, like Jordan Peterson is a grifter. Of course, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going to be really good at that, you have to actually think that you believe that, even
Sure.
though you're full of shit.
Oh,
That's a good
like to sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, like, a lot of, like, social justice, I think they really do think that they care that much. But I think if they were put in a real position, they wouldn't actually want to deal with the actual.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Cause if Jordan Peterson, you can tell there's a vibe that, and it's not his success because you could be a complete tool and be successful, but there's a vibe that he actually puts the time in and thoughts and does the reading or whatever research. He's put in the hours practicing to be balanced, fair, thoughtful, and introspective. Is it outrospective? Whatever. The
Internal?
opposite of intro. Come on,
Outros-
jazz major.
That's not what? I can tell you how to
They didn't
spell.
teach you that in jazz
I can
school.
tell you how to play that. Words are music to me, man. Yeah, Cat Daddy. He's never called me Cat Daddy once. I'm offended.
You called yourself it, and you got mad at him.
I've known you for years now. I've never heard one scootily wow.
No, man. It's because we're not high in a car together. There's not a backing track on. We're not going at it together. But yeah, I mean, like with I don't know, man. He says so much stupid shit. But like,
He cries once every 3 interviews.
yeah. I know that he thinks stuff through and everything.
Yeah.
And some of it's fine. You should clean your room. But
Yeah.
The thing that boggles my mind about Jordan Peterson, like, I don't care, like him if you want. I think you're fucking stupid if you do. But the thing is, like, how is that the guy dudes think is cool? That guy? That's the biggest fucking virgin I've ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? I would beat that kid up if I saw him on the street.
You mean the dude with the 2-color suit?
Yeah, like what a fucking dork.
because every dude wants to be the smart guy that's also strong and gets pussy.
Yeah. But like Rogan, I get why dudes are like, that's a man. I'm like, yeah, that dude's like
Yeah.
objectively really cool, even if I don't
Yeah.
agree with all of his opinions. Like, that's just a cool guy.
Yeah.
But I don't get the Jordan Peterson at all. I don't get the Ben Shapiro of it all. It just doesn't make sense.
I think
to me.
we're on to a bigger discovery is that we're worried about the wrong border.
Oh, Canada?
Canada is fucking
You're
everything
right. They're
up.
infiltrating.
They're infiltrating hip hop.
I've been saying this for a while. Fuck Canadians. Right now, you heard it here.
I mean, if you look at it objectively right now, the top basketball players are not American, not black. Joker and the other white dude, and from Europe. And the number one like box office draw for all of like the Marvel movies, he's Canadian. Deadpool.
Who?
Who?
Oh, he is.
Deadpool. Oh, he's Canadian as shit.
You're right.
Number one selling hip hop artist, Canadian as shit. And then the dude telling everybody to clean up their room,
Yeah.
Canadian as shit.
Get rid of him.
Yeah,
hasn't said
we gotta
clean up.
wipe
Get him
off.
outta here.
We gotta wipe it. Build a wall.
And we're back. And we're right back to the start.
And it's cold up there. Build an ice wall. You can get Game of
Remember the
Thrones
wall?
on there.
You remember the wall that half of America voted for that didn't get built?
Is it like 1% of it or something?
Yeah.
I think Biden built more of it, actually, like more than Trump did. I read.
Is that real?
I heard Hassan Abi said that, and now I'm repeating it. God damn it.
All I know is that I don't think it matters. Like
No.
it's the most non-wall I've,
It's
I've
not,
ever.
It's not stopping anybody.
It's like the fence without the other.
You know what beats walls? Digging.
Every time. I don't. Yeah. I mean, how long has that even like still been?
They pretended
Like,
that was happening for a while, though.
It's
Yeah.
so amazing how quickly the mind state of heavy topics moves
Yeah.
Yeah.
now.
That's
not-
yeah.
Go ahead.
That's you could just lie now because that's all Trump really does. He's just like, this is what happened, and then like it's no one has time to check it before there's something else happening.
True.
Yeah.
You just keep riding that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most people just like don't care enough. They're like, okay,
Yeah.
it's not worth it.
That's not.
Are you guys ready for the end of sanity? You know how like every moment is the youngest you'll ever be?
Right.
Like every moment right now for the rest of this year literally is the most sane it's going to be.
You're so right. That's really depressing that you brought
Yeah.
that. You're so right.
This is the least amount of motions that you're going to need just to walk out your door
Right.
and deal
the
with
amount of
other
energy
humans.
I'm gonna have to muster to communicate
Yeah.
with people on a daily basis.
You're literally gonna have to pick a.
What a nightmare.
It is going to be, literally, and I think it's a weird like the moon and the chakras and Mercury are in alignment, and this is like the most elections in the world right now in like
Is that true?
Either forever or I think like
very long time.
like Russia's up for an election. I want to say like China's up for election. A whole slew of other countries are having like elections in parliament or whoever their main person is along with us. Like throughout the world this
Right.
particular year is like beep 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 everybody.
That's concerning. I mean, is Russia up for an election though?
Yeah. I mean, no, not at all.
If I was still in Christian school, they would be saying that the rapture's happening this year. And that's why all of this is
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
That's why there's a war in the Middle East. That's why
Yeah.
all this shit's going down.
When did you break out of that?
Towards the end of high school, I bought into it for a long time.
Yeah?
Long time. Towards the end of high school, I was kind of like, I wasn't such a goody-goody anymore. And then I went to college, and I was like, within a year or two, I was fully like, oh, yeah, that's
yeah.
bullshit.
Did you have a plan for when you were just walking down the street one day and the Thanos glove got snapped and everybody just disappeared?
I thought about this all the time. I
And
thought
you
about,
and you were still here like,
yeah.
well, shit.
No, yeah. I thought about this all the time. They scared, which is also like feels like abuse to children.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
being in 6th grade and they sent out, it was like we had these little packets we read like every Friday about like current events and stuff. It was basically like all of these things are happening, the world is crumbling, the rapture's
Yeah,
happening
yeah.
soon. And I went home with a stomach ache because I was so scared. And I remember like my mom would go into grocery stores if she was there for like longer than the time she said she was going to be in there. I was like, the rapture happened. I'm left. I'm left.
I wasn't good enough.
I was like, I didn't hear the trumpets. I thought I'd hear them. It was supposed to be
With
beautiful.
his trumpets?
Yeah.
No, it was like a whole symphony of music in the sky. It's like supposed to be this glorious, and then
Yeah.
everybody rises, and it's a whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the people that are stuck back here have to stick around for the tribulation
Yeah.
and the
They made-
Antichrist and all that.
we gotta watch those movies. They made movies called Left Behind.
Yeah.
Did you
I
ever
read
watch these?
I read the books in
I read
that
the books
series
too.
up to like number 8 or something
Yeah,
like that.
and
Yeah.
they're just all about.
They were
people that
actually dope.
Left behind.
I was
They were pretty sick. Nicolas Cage is in
I was
some of
I was a Left Behind Jehovah's Witness for a while.
You-
Back when
No.
those books came out, I was like,
Yeah.
you don't understand. Like it's Christian fiction, but it's not like
They
preaching.
were
like
good.
it's cool. Like it's.
They were- I mean,
they were
scary.
actually dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
like, I mean, people.
You would get a kick out of these movies, dude. They're pretty bad.
Yeah, it was the Bible for HBO, even though the Bible is an HBO level.
Yeah.
That's the original, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. I was raised Republican, and I kind of have like the same.
There's a
timeline.
similar arc.
Yeah,
going
where
on.
at the end of high school, I was
Right.
like, no, maybe it's fine. And then, college was like, oh, whoops.
Yeah, you're like, that doesn't actually make any sense.
Yeah,
Right.
it's crazy. It's just not being near Rush Limbaugh for a
Yeah.
little bit.
I
Yeah.
shit you not, in high school, I had 2 black friends in my class. There's only like 4 black people in the whole school. Mind you, it was a school of 100 people, so it wasn't that big.
Yeah.
But my history teacher literally said that she didn't think slavery was a sin because the Bible didn't say that it was a sin. And Lynn and Eli like laughed so hard they like walked out of the room.
Yeah.
They're like, this is insane.
I wonder about that, right? And not to I'm not gonna pick a side on anything right now, but you go to a dinner, you go to an open mic or a show. You're in the green room. You're out with friends, see another person, and you guys can talk at length. You could have the same kind of conversation we're having right now about everything, about nothing, about whatever, and then you just hit that topic where the two of you are over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were just talking about gas prices.
Right.
You were just talking about, man, Chicago, it was snowing 2 days ago and it's 7 degrees a day. Am I right? I don't know whether to... But then as soon as you're like, yeah, religion and politics. Even though that's our bread and butter, it's still... Even with comics, I see it.
It's divisive.
And then and it's like, we were just... Like, how was this one little thing? We were just on the same page.
Yeah.
And then this one little thing... Like, we can disagree, but how are we no longer on the same page?
Right.
Like, how did our difference in opinion turn us into actual enemies?
Yeah, there's different, because I run into that with my father constantly, and I just let it wash over me until it's over. Like, I literally, when I would come home from college, he would just start talking about whatever while I was driving, and I would just practice the saxophone in my head until like he said something I could relate to, and I'd be like, yeah, and I would try to come back. But yeah, I just tune out in that situation. I don't know, but like, how often do you guys run into that? Like, most of the people that I'm friends with, I don't like. There aren't like those large. I can't think of anything that we disagree on like that hard.
Like fundamentally.
Yeah.
There's like a couple things that would bother me about like certain people if I pushed it, I think. But it's like, if I know this is going to be a rift between us, I'm not going to push it.
Yeah.
Or if it is something that I'm just casually talking and it happens to come up and we are different, it's like, I'm one of those people that tries. There's some things that, mind you, I'm like, no, this is wrong, this is right. But most things, I'm like, there's a lot of gray.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I'm having a conversation with, so actually it hasn't come out yet, but there's like a recording and a half ago, 2 recordings ago, had a couple of folks here, and me and one of the guys that was on here, we was like, like vein out the neck type thing,
really?
But we were able to keep it civil. And for me, that is one of my favorite things in the world, is to have civil, disruptive talks. Like,
that's a good
I love vibing with
yeah.
people and the easy going, and we could just ride the way. But if you come across somebody that you can like clunk heads, but it doesn't. So there's a ratio of emotional and intellectual attachment to whatever thought you have, right? Yeah. And if you're 51 and above percentage attached emotionally to whatever it is, I can't vibe with you because at a certain point in time, you're going to take it personal emotionally. If you take it personal intellectually, and you can call me 18 different kind of stupids or whatever, like, are you serious? That's what you believe? Or you're goofy? No, let me tell you, and if we're still meeting each other on an intellectual plane,
right?
Dope. But the moment, like, your brain is like pumping, kill this guy chemicals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like,
because then the arguments are like, you can't win regardless.
Yeah.
There's no winning to be had here.
You can't. There's never a win in an argument.
I mean, I would argue that sometimes I'll leave arguments and I'll go, oh, okay, I learned something.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. And every now and then, in my best of times, I'll be like, I didn't see it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, dope.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I'll be like, oh, fuck, it's got a good point. Let me find a racist.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Smoke bomb.
Yeah.
But no, like, that's what's hard. And that's the year we're about to have.
Yeah.
Is a majority of people emotionally attached to whatever their side is.
Yeah.
And then going bananas.
Yeah. Here, most people agree, I think, like, at least within the city. I'm doing Shane Gillis hands. I'm sorry. But like, it's going to be crazy online.
You forget what a bubble it is, though, until you're out of it.
Yeah.
The city. Like, every time I'm in a suburb, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
All major cities are socially built basically the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because
This would have to be by virtue of the diversity within them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's an assumption that a particular side of politics is in favor of diversity and all that entails. And so that's just the sway of the city.
Yeah.
Because most people are probably like me are passively invested in that. And whatever all that means. I'm not spending any amount of hours in my day to research
Right.
any of the stuff that I act like I'm an expert on.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too, is like no one can just admit that you don't fucking know anything anymore.
That's so hard.
Yeah.
It's like, it is hard, but it's also like necessary.
It is.
Or else that's why everyone hates each other so much, because none of
Yeah.
us can be like, you know what, I actually really don't know fucking shit.
really-
Me too,
Yeah.
myself included.
It's it's
You know?
It's pretty liberating to just be like, I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It feels good. But it makes you boring. Because you like.
Well, you know what gets my goat? Sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Maybe I'm not super arbitrary on this topic. But then somebody who's as educated or less educated than me is like, actually, I know what's up. And then I'm like, whoa, buddy. Back. And then I ruined everything I just was like trying to be neutral about or whatever. Because I'm like, I don't know if I'm right, but I know you're wrong.
Yeah. I'm usually 3 sentences in to explaining something before I realize I don't know
Hell yeah,
shit
dude.
about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. What's an axle in a car? Well, see the way the dynamic of the wheel and the circumference of the mid-range sedans.
The way it interacts with the motor. No.
Shit. Do you got TikTok or something?
Yeah.
Type it in there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like having internet access 24/7, we are so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Which
you
is
think
fine
you
because we
know.
do have, right, exactly.
Because you're like, oh, I can just Google it, so I basically know.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm one step away from knowing.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever tried to draw a functioning bike?
No.
I tried.
There's no way I could do it.
I thought I could.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Like
well,
with gears and stuff?
Yeah, I was like, well, the chain would. Like,
Immediately. I've thought about before, like, okay, like if the world ended, right? Like for all intents and purposes, apocalypse, and there's like a handful of people left on the earth and we're scavenging through the rubble. I'm like, how fucking long would it take
To
most of us
redo all the-
to invent like a fucking
Yeah.
I wish
handle,
I was
you know?
a better comedian because I had a bit like that I gave up on.
Yeah.
Where it was, we have flying cars and this and that and da da
Right.
da da da, but I couldn't start a fire
right.
Yeah.
right now
Right.
if you gave me like the wood, the sticks, and a lighter that you took apart.
Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't make a wheelbarrow if my life depended on it.
Yeah.
If I had the tools.
I could refill a lighter. That's it.
Now you say you could refill a lighter.
Actually-
where, sir,
never
would
mind,
you
never mind.
find the gas that turns into a liquid?
Right.
And then catch it in your hands and put it in a little plastic tube.
Yeah.
God, I would be so fucked, dude.
Yeah. We'd
No
all
one
be
would
so
want
fucked.
me.
No.
I'd be like, I can play guitar.
How long do you guys think
Like,
you'd last in the Hunger Games?
I'd just kill myself. Like, the
yeah.
Hunger Games. Okay. Like 10 minutes.
Okay.
That's which one? In the dome or in like the forest?
Let's say like a Hunger Games 1 scenario where it's like a forest and there's like you can get the weapons or you can leave or you can do whatever. What's your strategy and how long do you think you're lasting?
Okay, here's the first question.
Okay.
You're in the Hunger Games. Everybody scatters.
Right.
Right? Obviously, we can pick whatever number we think we're going to be right now, but in your mind, I don't want to die. I got to find a way to win this. Right? Mm-hmm. You're rummaging through the bushes, and then you see her. The little girl that never stood a chance. And she has like the ninja sword or the shotgun or whatever. And she's too frail to even pick it up. How do you kill her? And take all of her resources.
That is insane. Way to phrase that question.
It's not about surviving.
That is
It's
insane.
about the opposite
Murdering.
of surviving.
It's
You
about
have
murdering.
to take out the other people. Now, the big bully in the movie, that you think that's easy, right? You find he hits the little string that you put on the bottom of and then the big tree thing comes down, smacks him in his, and then and then he flies. You don't even have to see the body.
Right. Yeah.
You just see the fireworks go in the air, and you're
Right.
like, yeah. But it's the little itty bitty. It's not Liz. It's little shrimp snacks.
Claire.
It's Claire.
Yeah.
You see Claire's son be going.
Here's what you don't know about her.
Looking at the
She's feral.
shotgun. She is.
She has
but
rabies and she's about to bite you. And she's taking a shit as it's all happening.
Oh, of course she is. Hey, could you hand me the big boom stick over there? I have to wipe myself, and you have to murder her
Yeah.
because she has all the tangerines.
I just like push her and like take her
Yeah.
shit and then just be like, you starve. Like it's just a lot to kill her, you know. I don't know. If I like my move, I would find the big guy and be like, hey, do you want to butt fuck me until late game?
Right.
Like you can butt fuck him, but he's dead. I'll be warm.
Oh,
Right.
Like I don't know. I hate that.
that's a lot. Well, I mean, you could just soothe all the savage beasts with your melodic fucking clarinet.
They have a
playing.
harpsichord there. Hunter's like, I got this, you guys.
I would probably try and befriend some people, and then I don't know, find the poisonous berries.
You're in pretty good shape, you know.
Yeah,
You can handle
but
it.
I think you do
I
okay.
don't know. My skin is really light and my hair is long.
I get like the shakes. Like I wouldn't be able to like hold it together and like this. I've never been in a fight, so like I just go.
I'd probably pull the move that you do back when you used to play hide and go seek and just like run around the other side of the tree. That's home base.
Yeah. Yeah. To save your ass. I think I would just try to hide because I'm not winning a fight. I'm against a small woman, and I'm not skilled at any sort of weaponry.
You could shoot a gun.
Yeah.
If I could figure out how.
Oh, okay. Well,
That would be a bummer though, like, cause you can't be a comic after you shoot somebody. You can get shot and be a comic.
Okay.
You can't shoot someone.
You
and be
can't take somebody out the game and still be like funny because you have to
be
you have
whimsical.
to you have to at least have 7 minutes on killing that guy that one time.
Yeah.
Right. What if he was coming at you first though? Then it's like, oh, that's a fun story.
Well, then you're brave.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, so you mean you'd have to have 7 minutes on killing someone in cold blood?
I mean, that'd probably be a little bit easier than
Than
actually like defending yourself and your family or whatever.
There's stuff that I'm like, this is too fucked up for me to have material about.
Yeah, like when you say cold blood, like you eat a banana and then you throw the peel, and then a guy literally slips on your banana peel and dies.
Yeah.
And the judge lets you off because that's just so absurd. You got a chance in making that funny.
Yeah,
Right.
that's fair.
But somebody breaks into your house and you just John Rambo them.
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you mean. Like, I don't know what your next hour is going to look like, but it's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's going to be real dark.
You can't make that.
You gotta just put that
You can't
away.
make that yet.
Right.
Ooh, then you're in one man show territory.
Yeah.
You can go to Europe.
Yeah. It's becoming a play almost. It's not even stand up at this point.
Did you guys see that Nick Thune is now a painter?
Who's Nick Thune?
Yeah, who is that?
He's got like a Netflix.
that a
special.
comic?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like he goes up a lot. He's
Big deal?
pretty big, but he's like paints.
He's
now.
painting now?
It's not good.
I
At least I don't
bet.
think it's
I
good.
bet.
But he's charging like $6,000 for these paintings, and it's like, dude, you were a guitar comic and now you're painting. I don't know. It's
Good
just
for
pretty
him.
Strange. Yeah. Just find the next racket, I guess.
Guitar comic. I didn't know that was a title you could even have.
It's kind of a slur, or at least an epithet. It's not a good thing.
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm jealous of musicians because I mean, music places somebody's soul and comedy places somebody's mind. And so you could turn your mind off and still vibe out with music, but people heckle jazz musicians. Good luck to any. Good
That's
luck to
crazy.
any comic.
Well, that was
Yeah.
that was a lady just being drunk and asking questions. That's like she wasn't going, "You fucking suck, black lady." Like it wasn't like that. That's a different thing. I've played a lot of gigs, and that's never.
You're nowhere the kid, sweetheart.
Okay, like honestly, when I play gigs and someone talks to me, even if it's at the wrong time, I'm psyched because they're listening.
Yeah.
Like the first open mic I ever did, I bombed my dick off, but like I was like shaking with excitement after because everyone was listening to me, and that doesn't happen when you play jazz.
Oh,
Like people are just
interesting.
eating dinner and talking.
Right.
Like you're not the point of focus.
Right.
So I'm sure it didn't even really bother that singer that much. She's probably like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, still getting attention. It's in the mind of a heckler. What is that? Because they're essentially going for the same thing we're going for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're going for attention and laughs, but they don't bother to go all the way to getting on stage and doing it that way.
Some of them want to. You've never had a heckler that's like, I can.
Yeah.
I had one time I was at Riddles. I'm on stage and I started doing crowd work and I started making fun of this guy. And comedian Famo was the host and he stopped my set. And because when I started making fun of this guy, he started talking back and we started like clowning each other. He stopped my set and pulled the guy on stage and just had us have like an on the spot roast battle halfway through my set. I was the one that started the damn crowd work or whatever. And so me and him had it out. Then he sat him back down. I finished out my set, and then that guy went up and did his first set ever.
Oh no shit.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Sometimes they think they're helping. Like, have you been to
The
Mustangs?
helpful heckler. I haven't.
It's in like Beloit, but one time I was hosting there, and this dude kept just like yapping, and I got off, and he was like, "Hey man," he was like, "Guys, you know, because I see crowd work clips all the time, and like I was just trying to help you." And it's like, no, dude,
That's
like,
it's the Matt Rifification.
Yeah.
Peace and love. But it's like
they think that's what comedy is.
Right.
Is me being quick at you. It's like, no, I wrote shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That combined with alcohol,
Yeah.
dangerous combo.
Ooh,
Exactly.
Ooh, the bravery.
The bravery, truthfully.
bravery beverage.
Yeah. And their friends are all like, oh my God, I'm so
Yeah, yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
And they're just blacked out.
Yeah.
I was just having that conversation with somebody about, that's what it is. So is comedy, is what's funny changing, right? Funny's one of the pre-programmed like buttons when you're born. You get, love, anger, jealousy, sadness, and like funny, right?
Yeah.
That's just everybody's basic borderline. And I mean, a 3-week-old baby is gonna laugh at something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Is funny changing though, right? Because at a certain point in time, like Lenny Bruce back in the day, that changed it over from take my wife, please. And he's like, motherfucker, cocksucker, and heroin or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's another transformation with like Richard Pryor, George Carlin, another transformation. Matt Rife isn't the first guy to blow off.
Right, he didn't invent what he's doing,
but he really
blew it up.
Yeah. And you even take it to what Dane Cook was
his mentor,
was the main one to take the internet and say, hey guys, get followers, get paid, and whatever.
Yeah.
But is what is funny changing? Because Lenny Bruce, I went to his one-man show. I've listened to like some of his bits, and not funny. It doesn't carry over.
I don't even understand what's happening when I listen to. Like,
he talks like a jazz instrument.
That's interesting. That's hilarious. Funny. I don't think what's fun. I don't think it's ever constant.
Yeah.
I think it's because I think humor is context dependent. What's funny in this room with me and you is not going to be funny when I go hang out with my girlfriends and it's a wine night and we're watching, Dangerous Liaisons.
Yeah.
Like it's all context dependent. What what you're going to laugh out with your boys later is like not something that and then what we're going to laugh about in 5 years from now based on the context of our political, economic, social demographics is different. I think that's why like you can do, we all know like you do a joke that works perfectly. You've done it a million times. It's a killer. And sometimes you'll go in a room and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you're like, I didn't change anything.
Yeah.
The context changed.
Yeah.
The people I'm around changed and the vibe wasn't right or it wasn't warmed up enough or whatever.
Oh, the worst for me is if I happen to, you with a crowd that's just giving you love, and so you can relax and write on stage and just let your material breathe
really
and just start coming off you're just shooting from the hip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'll come up with like some riffs or some crowd works or something, and it's and I go, ooh, hell yeah. And it'll kill whatever I just say in the moment, and then I'll try and go to the next show and use the spontaneous thing I just pulled out of my ass.
Totally.
And somehow the crowd knows, like,
Totally.
somehow that first crowd knew it was something that was happening right then and there, and then that next crowd knows, what is this you're trying to be right now?
It's just the energy isn't right.
Yeah. It's like an instinct. But you're absolutely right, because I think even Shane Gillis mentioned that. He was like, there's a funniest everything. Like no matter what it is.
The president assassination.
Yeah. But really, I mean, really, you nailed it. Is that the context of any situation? There's a funny part of that situation. So hell yeah.
Skylar Higley had a funny tweet the other day where like it was basically making fun of that type of person that's like, if I can't believe this gay woman said this on stage. If I, a straight white man, said this. They wouldn't like it. And it's like, yeah, of course they wouldn't, because it's coming out of her mouth. Yeah. There's a difference between what she's been through and what you've been through. The context has now changed. This, you know what I mean?
Have you seen?
And he's right.
Have you seen this? And no offense by anything I'm about to say to anybody whatsoever. Life is hard, and I'm sorry that for some people,
sorry for your struggle.
Bad things happen, and all the best to anybody involved, friends, family included. Did you see this? This Air Force guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like what?
I think God bless him.
Yeah.
Now, mark you. Don't ask me why I know this, but there's that gentleman that was protesting the Vietnam War. His name was Thich Quan Duc, and he's actually the guy that was on the cover. I think it's Rage Against the Machine, an actual Buddhist monk.
Yeah.
That lit himself on fire. Told the entire town, everybody was out there. Might as well be a parade, this guy. He sat Indian Lotus, whatever that position was,
Lotus,
right?
whatever,
Poured gasoline on himself, lit himself on fire. I read articles about this. Wasn't thinking about this in this moment. I was fascinated by this a while ago. Read articles. Everybody that was there said he did not make a move, did not make a sound. He sat there and eventually fell over because he was basically already dead. Mark you, one of my school teachers in Japan, math teacher, he lit himself on fire in the school parking lot on a Sunday. He got found by other students.
For why?
Pretty sure. Well, at the time, it ended up coming out that he basically lost his teaching job. Wife left him. And like found out he had a disease.
Wouldn't you just find a gun?
This is the rumor mill through school, so I would think, yeah, like one of the bad ones. And he was like, "All right, fine, fuck it, going in a blaze of glory." And one of the homegirls, her dad was actually like in he was military police, and he was in like the first 48 squad or whatever. And so this is before cell phones. So she actually brought pictures to school. Like she stole, her dad had to take pictures for work. And she stole them, brought them in. It looks like a really miserable way to go. I looked at pictures of this guy.
Yeah.
First off, he was a heavy man, and he was no longer heavy. And I mean, he was as black as you could be, black burned. And he had like one of his arms was in the air, and like his rib was opened up right here, and like the insides were coming out, and they were like a different color. They were like neon greenish. It was weird. But
I mean, for protest, I can understand it. That is like everybody's paying attention to it.
Sure.
Like, of course.
Now, Thich Quan Duc was like tied pretty closely to the war that was going on, and he was a Buddhist monk. Like I read that goofy Eat, Pray, Love, and she was complaining about like not smacking a mosquito while she was meditating. This guy lit himself on fire,
right?
Yo. You know what I mean?
No, for
and
sure.
everybody says he didn't make a move, he didn't make a sound, he fell over eventually because he was that. Because you don't even really die from the fire unless you live, and like all that bad stuff that happened to your body catches up with you. You die from inhaling smoke.
Oh.
Yeah,
God.
You die like being in a house fire.
That's so dark.
Yeah, because fire isn't going to go straight to your lungs and your heart or nothing like that. It just burns.
Wow.
So you die because you're having a hard time breathing because you're on fire.
Right.
So it's not a fantastic way to go.
No.
And
if you just want to commit suicide, period, it's like, find some pills. They're easy enough to get your hands on.
And bless this young man's heart. What was he? We were just talking about. There's wars going on, multiples. We don't talk about them because that cycle's already passed.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're waiting for the next big thing.
Right.
Are we gonna remember like what his message was?
I know. I hope so, but yeah.
If social
what you
media
mean.
was around when that monk burned himself, we probably wouldn't remember him. Like, it's just that the cycle is so different now than it used to be, I think. Because there were probably newspapers about that guy. Like, there was probably like a week or two that made that stick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, plus at a certain point in time back then, right, we had photographs. And it had to capture a picture's worth 1,000 words. Now, anytime you want it,
More
video.
limited photographs. Yeah.
So back then, there's a picture of him that was so iconic
Right.
that a band was like, "We're going to use that for the cover
Right.
of our thing." And
Right.
and I see the image in my
Right.
head. It's an iconic image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy, he recorded it, live streamed it, and I'm 16 years old right now. I've watched worse while I'm sitting on the toilet.
I know.
Yeah.
5 times this week by now.
Think about that too. Like we're just there's so many horrors presented to us constantly. We're meant to know this much. There's no way this is good for the human brain. It just can't
Yeah.
be. That there's so much that it's like almost our empathy centers decay because we see so much horrific shit that we're like, we cannot possibly have feeling and emotion towards everything.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah.
destroy us. We wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
get out of bed if we really
course.
felt that. You know, so it's like you develop these defense mechanisms almost against just the world and what
Yeah.
you're seeing in it that you have to be like, oh, child starving.
And on top of that,
you know.
we're in this city,
Yeah.
which is a metropolitan city.
Right.
And so, like, you're even more desensitized because you see the state of so many different people.
Right.
We're comics, so you hear every possible version of the worst thing anybody could ever think to say. And so we're desensitized to that. But like my mom and my pop, they retired in Nebraska, you know what I mean? And if she was to come here, she'd want to give money to every homeless person
Yep.
on the
Yeah,
street.
yeah,
and I'd be like, Mom,
Yeah.
ah.
Which is a
They'll-
lovely
they'll-
sentiment.
They'll
Like,
come back for more.
Right.
Don't do that.
Right.
Like, I don't even take out my squares. I smoke squares still. I don't even take
Yeah.
them out in public. Like, I'll go find a bat cave and take one out.
Yeah.
Just
Like we're trained to not even look at homeless people as if they're not even
not
humans.
at all.
Like it's crazy.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Like I took the L from work to get here, and then hopped on the bus, and we're stopping, and a gentleman had to get on. He was in a wheelchair, and he was a douche. He was getting on his wheelchair, so the bus had to and let the thing down, and he rolls on. He was like, "Y'all might as well get off. I got to turn around." This is after work traffic, so the bus is packed. And he's like, "Y'all might as well get off the bus because I got to turn around or whatever." So I was like, oh, "You're entitled, bro? For real?"
Yeah. You?
And then
That's crazy.
and then he turns around, but he's talking shit the whole time.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
he's
hilarious.
He's
actually.
one of those guys.
I want to be his friend. That's so funny. He still has as much of an ego. That's awesome.
Like, he was Kanye West on 4 wheels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, bless his heart, 2 wheels or whatever, 4, however many there is on which. But no, like for him, I don't know. In those kind of scenarios, is that like? I wonder, like, was he really trying to make the same statement that monk made back in the late 1950s, early 60s, or was this? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine so. Wasn't he yelling "Free Palestine" in front of the whatchajiggy in Israel?
sure. He was, but is this a learned, informed decision that he's making, and this is the statement that he wants to carry over into the thing? There's a manifesto of real thoughtful research point of views and da 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 da. Or in order to even go to the level where you're planning on taking yourself out the game, I think that's already I can't conceptualize that because I particularly don't have that decision in my brain anywhere. So it already feels like, man, you know, I sympathize for him because whatever else could have possibly contributed to that, you know? Was it simply what's going on in Palestine?
Yeah, I mean, who fucking knows? That's the crazy. It's like we'll never know. But I do know, like, I think he's been sort of an advocate since for whenever he changed his mind and was like, actually, I think this is genocide or whatever. Like, he was an advocate for that for a minute. and then decided to do this. I don't know if that was a long minute. I don't know if it was a week, if it was a month. I don't fucking know, honestly.
Sure, yeah.
But I know there is like there's a little bit more details about like what he like posted on Facebook and stuff regarding that. And
Yeah.
I think he switched over his will which is interesting because that obviously like implies some level of cognitive understanding of what he's doing, where he like switched over his will so everything was donated to like the Palestinian aid or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. So was he mentally ill? Perhaps, but I don't know.
Or do I just not understand anybody actually having that much conviction for something?
That's the thing, is like I don't have that much conviction about anything about my own life.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah, I have a friend in Minneapolis that is very outspoken about like he used to have a band and now he just posts about the Israel, and he makes these weird videos where he's just talking about it. Really, he's really upset about it. And I used to think, I was like, oh, John's like really struggling. And then I was like, no, John is actually just empathizing, like and like being like actually. It's because I just am pushing that away.
Right.
But if you actually look at what's happening over there, like, yeah, we should all light ourselves on fire, dude.
Yeah,
It's
kind of
fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, and I
Yeah.
get trying to do something
Yeah.
about it like that.
Yeah.
Like,
To have, like you said, conviction. I'm such a weak human being.
For anything at all to
What
that
is that?
level.
yeah, I'm selfish.
Because like we've all found out at an early moments in our life, fire's hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
That's got to be like
really.
the worst way to go.
It's pretty much
It's
the
up
hottest
there.
It's up,
thing.
yeah.
It's definitely hotter than like water. All right, so we're back. We're back in the Hunger Games, right?
Okay, we're in the Hunger
We've run
Games.
across Claire. She's taking a poop.
Hunter's shoving her and taking her shit.
All right.
Took her, yeah, but she's alive.
But she's alive.
Okay, all right. And so now is the best time to take her out. And she's
Right.
crouched looking the other way, so
Right.
you don't even have to make eye contact.
Right.
Here's the thing, though.
Okay.
You only have 2 weapons.
Okay.
You have like either boiling hot water.
Oh,
Or,
I don't know if it would kill her. I don't think that'd kill
or-
somebody. It'd burn him. It'd hurt him.
Yeah.
Punch her after.
Yeah. It's enough to like immobilize
To incapacitate her.
Immobilize her. And she's close enough to like she's taking her poop like close to the water.
Okay.
You could just like kick her
Just, like,
over
shove her
into it.
in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
Or you light her on fire.
Ooh,
Yeah, you either have to drown her.
this is insane.
Or
I like
burn
that you
her.
inserted our very good friend into this. So that
Because I want to see where your conviction is, ma'am.
What would I
No, can we do
do?
like Ben Shapiro or
Both
something?
are awful.
Not anybody that you've already made your mind up on. Because the Hunger Games didn't I haven't seen these in a really long time, but didn't the people know each other?
They didn't know.
Like 2 of them knew each
Two
other.
from each district would know each other often, but then they got to know each other before the training before the games.
So
they didn't know
regardless,
each other.
regardless, you're taking out people from your open mic scene.
Okay.
Yeah, but some of those people I'd rather have
Yeah,
gone.
There's a number of them. I mean, just give me an Uzi. It's
Yeah.
St. Valentine's Day massacre in there.
I think I would go for the boiling water and then drowning, because then there's less visually for me to have to think about later.
And you don't have to hear like the blood curdling screams.
Right. That's
Yeah,
like just
yeah,
for my own
You
benefit.
can just, that's fine. There's bubbles, whatever.
Yeah.
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 I don't like this, dude.
Yeah.
What are you choosing?
I want to say the drowning too, but I would think the worst thing possible would be you go through all that and you feel like the spasms and the jerks and they stop, and you do the Will Smith
You're really
like
thinking about
cry,
this.
right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like the one Denzel tear
Yep.
comes down
Yep.
and
Yep.
all right, and then it stop. And then
It's
you
over.
let go,
Right.
and Claire just goes.
Yeah, dude. She would too. She if anybody would. She'd be like, surprise, bitch. You thought?
Yeah, I guess lighting her on fire.
All right, so we're lighting
Okay.
Claire on fire. We have
Yeah,
to light her
yeah,
on
yeah.
fire. This bitch is too scrappy.
I couldn't. I'd have to run from her. She'd be Claire has final boss
Here's the
energy.
thing. She does it. That's why we have to get rid of her early. Because
I love that you
she's-
turned.
I turned. I'm one of my best friends.
In the beginning, you're like, oh, Claire. Why?
No,
And
now
then you're
I'm
like, we
absolutely-
got to take her. We
'Cause I know
got
her-
to join together and get her
Because I
early.
know her and I know she'd turn on me.
Oh yeah.
I know she's scrappy. She would
Yeah.
she would become evil villain territories.
Oh.
Cartoonishly evil.
Claire would somehow already immediately have like eye black,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Arnold and Predator,
Yeah.
and in a tree, naked with mud on her,
Yes.
so that we can't
She's
feel
flinging
any
it.
of her heat.
She's flinging the
Yeah.
mud at you.
Yeah.
Some of it's mud, some of it's feces. You don't know
Yeah.
until you taste
The
it.
last thing you see before Claire takes out Hunter is her upside down, suspended from
Yeah.
the ceiling.
Yeah.
Just going, I'm here.
Yeah, I think she would unlock a superpower if
Yeah,
she was in the
yeah.
Hunger Games.
Yeah. No, her latent mutant abilities
Yeah.
would come
Shit-related.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I think we're talking about this person that nobody else knows.
I'm only gonna send her this clip. No, we discovered the way that we're gonna take you out the game, Claire. I'm sorry, but it's because you're too strong. None of us can do it on our own. We have
You
to
know
band
too
together.
much, bitch.
Yeah, and this isn't even a game anymore. We're just coming for you.
This is just for fun.
comedy wise. Claire almost killed me
When?
on the way. I was going to Thornton for a Thornton show. Claire is what, 3'13", something like that,
Something,
and
yeah.
she drives a space shuttle sized van.
I know, yes.
right? Have you seen her?
I've seen, yeah.
She rides
It's
it like
crazy.
a Harley Davidson.
It's crazy.
Like her arms they're stretched to the max,
Yeah.
holding on
Yeah.
to this wheel, and we're driving down there, and she almost runs me off the. Me and my girl, she almost runs us off the road, and it's honking the horn. She doesn't even bother to look over.
She's
in
not
her
an excellent
own
driver. I love her. She got her. I was there when she got like her car or whatever, that van. And she, that same day, she goes, Kayley, I got my license, I got my van or whatever. And then the same day she goes, Kayley, I got my van towed. And like literally the day. I was like, Claire, what the fuck, dude?
Oh man, she's the homie.
She's the best.
With all my heart, I love her.
I'd still kill her, but
Yeah,
she rules.
early. I mean,
Or you got to, or else she's coming for your ass.
before Act 2 starts.
Yeah.
she's out.
Who would you like to kill, Hunter, from the Chicago comedy scene?
Ooh,
Okay.
Drop
can
names,
can
Hunter.
I counter with something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys know like open mics, and there's people that hang out at like there's like gaggles of people at different mics.
Yeah.
If you could burn one room,
one entire
if you
room.
could torch one mic,
Oh,
and
that's
like the
real.
people that are commonly there, and then they're gone. Which mic would you torch?
like just Inglorious Bastards, lock the door, chain it.
I don't know
light
if
it
I
on
actually
fire.
want to answer this. But
Is it people
something
that I
think-
don't like, or is it like people that are good so I can get ahead? So should I think strategically about
That's
this?
interesting. Do I want to
Yeah,
torch
right.
Laugh Factory mic?
Oh, that one. Yeah. Dorks hang out at that one. Maybe that one.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't-
like a whole.
I don't know the open mic scene that well anymore.
I'm scared of beef. I don't want to create anything.
I would burn my own mic because
You don't have to go there anymore.
I crave death.
Yeah,
I don't know how you.
that
do
was
it.
masterful. Hunter just pulled the.
I know, you
rubber,
whipped
you're
it back.
glue. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't answer my original. You flipped it back
That
on
was
me.
very political.
who
He
would
he
I-
multiplied it, made it
nailed it.
harder,
Yeah.
and then swung it.
Yeah.
Used our momentum against us.
I rarely have like problems with people.
No. But like, let's say even somebody that you think would be like, let's think strategically.
strategically, who would
Like
I
Anthony
kill?
Hernandez gotta go. It's a gots to go
Oh,
situation in
so
the
this is
Hunger Games.
This isn't comedy.
It's comedy in Hunger Games. Comedy people are in the Hunger
So
Games.
you guys actually-
So it's nothing to do with being funny.
No,
Okay, so yeah, I would have to kill like Anthony.
he's gots to go.
I'd have to kill like Rich. I'd have to kill all of my.
Rich is
closest
not my
friends.
threat. I'm not threatened by Rich.
Yeah.
Rich is pretty strong.
Richie's strong, but he's such a Labrador retriever that
Yeah.
I could just use him for my advantage for a while.
You guys actually participate in the literal comedy Hunger Games. How are you feeling about the roast battles?
Oh,
I'm done with them. Peace and love. I love all.
I've
the
watched
Chicago roast
a
battle guys.
few of yours, and
Yeah.
you really get loose up there. You're
Thank you.
you're really slinging that
killer.
iron up
Thank
there.
you.
Yeah, you're a
Thank
killer.
you.
What ended up getting you out of that?
I mean, no tea, no shade. I love all the guys that run it and everything. I like. After I do them, I always go, "Oh, that was fun." But it's like I have such a personal level of anxiety, and I'm very competitive. So going into it, like I just did the Austin Mothership roast battle was the last one I'm doing for a while at least. I might want to do one later on, But
Has that aired yet?
no, it just
Okay.
happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty recent, but that like for like a month and a half, like damn near panic attacks were happening often because I was like, I'm gonna be in the mothership, I can't fuck it up. I don't want to,
It's a lot of. It's also like it affects my writing.
Yeah.
Like for actual material.
Yeah.
It distracts from it for me. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Jammed up on this one person.
Right.
It's a completely different muscle. Like I ended up doing my first and only one, and like had like people, oh, you should get into this.
Yeah.
It's another job.
It's
like,
another. It's homework.
It's a whole thing
Right.
that you got to do.
It's a very specific style.
And you
too.
don't know. That's the thing is like you don't know if it's gonna work. If we were just material versus material, me and Hunter, it's like that's kind of fun because I'll come with my best shit, you come with your best shit, and we know both is gonna be funny regardless of who wins. Whereas like you don't know with a roast battle unless you can run it by your friends. I run it by Hunter, I run it by my roommate, whatever. And they're like, oh, I think that's funny, I like that. But then sometimes you're like, oh, everybody liked this, cool, I'm done do it, and it tanks. Like it just doesn't work because you haven't worked this out in a real room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's like the stress of it. And you kind of have to trust your gut and be like, well, I think this is funny. I hope everybody else thinks it's funny too.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
I would reach for like weird, because when I do normal stand up, I reach for like weird shit a lot, and it works in that setting. But in roasting, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a good exercise for me right now, just to develop that. But I don't know. I'm roasting a magician on Thursday.
What magician?
So his name is Keelan Werdorf.
Oh, that's an insane name.
Yeah.
That's a magician's name. Did he change his name to that?
No, that's just his fucking name, dude. He texted me. He texted me one of the roasts that he was thinking about, and I was like, I think I got this.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
What was it?
That name being somebody that becomes a magician is like your name being Hilarious Hirsh.
Yeah, right. Like it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
What about you, So you said you did one. You don't think you're gonna roast anymore?
No, I'm a fan. I watch them.
I think they're fun. Yeah.
I watch them. They're fun. But it was like
I don't do it from a moral point. Some people are like, yeah, it's moral. I don't think it's just people making big jokes. Who cares?
Yeah,
not at all.
It's kind of like a loving thing, honestly.
There can be a level of love. Yeah, for sure.
Like, because when people are like actually like hateful, it's not fun. Yeah.
And when people know each other, that's way more fun to watch.
Yeah.
Because there's a level of intimacy there.
That's probably what it is. Like the people that are in it and that are high level, it's like I'm nah. And then the people that are just shooting the shit and having fun with it, I don't feel like I know a lot of them well enough to want to do that. Because in order to sling that kind of mud, you should already have somewhat of a relationship with somebody.
It was like when Kayley and I did one, it was super fun.
Yeah.
And it was easy to
course.
build stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I'd want to do it for fun, not necessarily competition.
No, 100%.
You're like a natural. You up there, you're killing. I get it, but like, yeah.
Yeah, it's not stand up is the thing.
Exactly.
It's just not.
But it's fun. It's fun.
It's fun.
To watch
It's its own thing.
Hell yeah, it definitely is. And then they're blowing up right now too. So.
Yeah, that's the thing about it too. Is like once you get in a little bit, you're like, well, I get these fun clips from it. You know, I get some recognition.
I get a plane ticket to Austin.
I get a plane ticket. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Hell yeah. What else are you guys excited about? So please do me a favor. Tell the viewing audience how they can find you, whatever you got going on in the city, and anything else that you'd like to promote.
I dig. My Instagram is Hirsh, Hirsh. I don't know. I got spots. There's nothing I'm hyped about right now. I'm trying to start a pod soon.
Yeah,
so look out for that. I'm looking at the wrong camera. It's that one. Fuck. But
doesn't matter. If you were looking at any of them, we'll find a way to make it work.
Sweet. Hell yeah. Thanks, man.
Do you also do you have musical performances?
Yeah, I play. Normally it's like 1 or 2 like hotel gigs a week.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I just play for a couple hours. I'm gonna start singing at one, which is gonna be interesting.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I mean, it pays all right. So
do you sing for your girl?
No, not really. She doesn't want to fucking hear that. She likes when I'm funny. She doesn't give a fuck about jazz. So yeah.
I gotcha. Oh, that's like the sous chef coming home and just bringing McDonald's.
Yeah.
For like this old lady, like, why don't you ever cook for me all fucking day?
You're an actually good musician, so it's probably different. But like, I'll watch like reality shows or whatever, and like the guy's like, I'm gonna sing and impress her, and I'm like, if a man wanted to impress me and brought a guitar and started singing a song to me,
Yeah.
I would cringe so hard. Like
It's
you've never seen a drier pussy in the whole world.
It's a nightmare. It's never.
Oh,
I've
no.
never tried that angle.
No.
Like yeah.
Like you know how
It's not good. It's not. I don't know why men keep doing this. Women probably do it too.
I'm ready to
not good.
throw up in my mouth whenever I hear him say like, you know, most people are scared of speaking in public than they are dying, and I'm like, shut up, goofy.
Yeah.
But if you were to tell me most people are more willing to like lock themselves in the trunk of a car and drive into a volcano before they would actually sing to not even a room full of people, like one person.
Yeah.
I'd believe that because I'm that person.
Yeah.
Like I could tell myself I'm doing something funny.
Right.
If you gave me a guitar, which I don't know how to play, and like I'd sing in a room full of, you know, like if whatever group, if Taylor Swift was like, this comedian I know is gonna sing a little song and put me on. I'm in a stadium.
Yeah,
I'll do that because I'll be like, hell yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
If it's just me, one person, and you tell me to sing,
I will not. I will not.
Probably pour gasoline on myself.
Yeah. What a beautiful way to round out this podcast. Maybe that's what happened to him. It's a gots to go situation.
He knew a video was coming.
Yes. God.
I was gonna paint him in a bad light.
Yeah. He's singing like a Drake song or something. Like something you cannot come back from.
Like an early Drake song.
Yeah. It's bad. There's like Wonderwall.
Oh my God. Oh, he did it a cappella.
No. My best friend, her partner, they're non-binary, like every once in a while would just like whip out a guitar and start singing. And Sam thinks it's so romantic. Sam will be like, Nick, sing your song. And Sam and Nick, if you're watching this, I don't think they will be, but love you guys. But to me, it's so cringy and they're like loving it. And I'm like, this is insane, you guys. Yeah, this is crazy. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I will never. People have been like, do you want to play something? And I'm like, no. Absolutely no. It's the same thing as, you're a comedian. Can you tell me a joke?
Yeah.
Do you want to do a set at this party? Fuck no.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
But I mean, yeah. Do you like so playing guitar? If somebody's like, play something for us, versus like singing, because you're technically extremely good at it. Like
I can just play guitar, sure, and like I can sing okay to like. But it's just like the performative quality.
Right, just like on the spot, like do it.
Thing in this part, like in this space that's not specifically built for
right,
it.
Right,
because there's no barrier to entry for jokes. That's just called charming.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can slip whatever into your conversations, and if you know, whatever, and just all right, I'm being charming now. But you actually. Yeah, that's why I said, like, the only way I could ever learn to play the piano, and that's the ability I want, is just so if I'm in a room and the piano happens to be there. You know what I mean? I'm like,
nobody's like, play that piano.
Yeah, just tickle the ivory. Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
But yeah. But to literally... Because that's abrasive. That's aggressive to, like, sing for somebody.
Super, yeah.
Yeah.
There is...
And you know once they make it past the first verse, you're like, oh, you're gonna sing the whole.
Yeah. Some people love it. They just want the attention.
There was a girl in college that I liked.
Oh my God.
I never
Yes.
Oh
give
my
me the story.
And
I have to have it.
I got her to come to a practice room. And you guys know the song Green Eyes by Coldplay?
Sing it for us.
Oh, don't worry. Because guess what? It's going to be playing right now. YouTube copyright.
I sang her Brown Eyes because her eyes were brown.
Hunter.
And we dated for like a year and a half.
No!
Yeah. But
it worked?
She got fat, so I dumped her.
Oh, my God.
And now she's a lesbian.
What did you do to that young woman?
I was a piece of shit. That's the next episode. But yeah. Anyway, so that's that really it hurts me a lot because I've done that and I know just how cringe.
Unsurprising that a lesbian thought that was romantic, though.
Well, I don't think she was a lesbian then.
You made her switch it up.
Yeah.
How much on percentage wise? How much eye contact did you have to maintain?
Oh my God, that's a good question.
Not at that stage.
That's so
You just look down at your guitar with your Justin Bieber hair flap.
I didn't figure eye contact out until like a year and a half ago. Like it's not. It just wasn't like a thing I did. And I've had to like kind of actually learn.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was just sort of was like, I don't know, man. I kind of blocked it out. So
That's crazy.
How do you even start singing a song?
well, I was like, hey,
Do it.
no, it was because you put a little.
You said it was in the band room, so she
Yeah,
was
so-
she was living her life.
I got her friend,
musicless.
I got her friend to bring her there,
Oh my God.
and then her friend had to sit there.
At what point in time did she realize what was about to happen?
No, she knew. I was like, hey, I want to sing Sarah a song. Can you get Sarah to come to the auditorium?
It's hot. Like,
And then I was like, I think you're really cool. I'd like to know you better. And I sang her fucking Brown Eyes.
That is so Glee coded. It is insane.
Yeah, bro.
They did that like 9 times in Glee.
Oh! Yeah, man.
Have you since considered lighting yourself on fire?
Every fucking day, dude.
That's crazy. I'm just impressed that it worked. That she was like, hell yeah, dog.
and then her life fell apart,
Yeah.
complete and absolutely.
I think she's doing good now. But
All right, good to
she
hear.
would not want to see me. Holy shit.
Not after the song.
No, the song was the...
Did you drop any of your notes or did you nail it?
No, I did good.
I love that he actually paid attention to a set.
Have you made a joke about that?
Not yet.
That's pretty good.
I've never talked about it.
You have to
That's
bring
really
that
solid.
to some kind of a stage because I felt an emotion in my body.
Yeah.
Something happened.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it.
I think
has
it
to be
changed
comedy.
you as a person a little bit.
It was good to get.
Just
I feel a
changed
little
me.
lighter.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. There's a lot of.
What was her name?
Her name was Sarah.
Oh, Sarah. You did say that.
Sarah Pfizer. I would put it out there.
Hi, Sarah.
Hey, I'm glad to hear everything's working out for you.
I think she's doing good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll never hear from her.
No, not after you made her brown eyes blue.
That was. I'm telling you, it got way worse after that. But that's.
It's a story for another time.
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Tell it.
Yeah, it's too late now. I'm
Don't be a
invested.
coward.
No, I mean, I don't know.
How did it get worse? Huh?
I was just really like, because I wasn't doing stand up yet, and I didn't know understanding. You guys know the guy that just started going to therapy, and he's starting to like see things about what happened to him and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he just is just a piece of shit still, but he sees all the so he understands.
But now he
the
uses the
reasons
language
why.
to manipulate other
Yeah,
people.
yeah. That was that's
Yeah.
where I was at. So I was like, I'm fucking just so broken. I'm newly autistic.
Oh, I totally know what you mean. Yeah.
And like,
Yep.
I was just shitty. Like I was just shitty and selfish.
Yeah. Everyone is in college, though.
Yeah. But it really, that one spun out. I think she knows that I cheated on her now. I think that people told her eventually.
Oh. Which didn't when you broke up?
I don't think she did.
Oh. Interesting.
It wasn't with the friend that brought her to the song.
No, that would have been cool.
You'd have had a crazy game.
No, her friend was way hotter than her. But why did I say that? Oh, but
Why did you say all that
Hi,
after
Sarah.
you gave out her official government name?
I don't know, man.
Hi, hot friend.
It just had to be Shelby Williams.
There's another one. There's another one.
Oh,
It doesn't matter.
he's the one on First 48 that snitches on himself before the commercial
Yeah.
break.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter now, but when you're like 36 and blow up and
yeah.
everyone's going through your podcast.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually Ken is deleting his like podcasts that he and I was on his
Ken
pod one
Flores?
time. Ken Flores,
Oh.
yeah. I was on his pod one time and I got hammered and I shared some stuff about my father that I should never, ever, ever
dude.
talk about. And sometimes I would wake up like shaking because like we would be done.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm really glad that's going away.
He deleted it?
He's going. Yeah.
You probably could have asked him to take your last name off of it or something.
Yeah.
Or give you police face.
Yeah. But no, oversharing. I just love oversharing.
I do too.
It just feels nice. You feel like people are interested.
Yeah.
Usually.
You're like, I love the attention.
What is that about, like the human being that you have to? It is a crisis, like
It's
that
the
guilty
same-
conscience.
Yeah. You got to get stuff out. It's also, it's like, it's getting that out of yourself. It's also like gossip, because like gossip feels good because people care.
Yeah.
And you have their full attention.
Right.
And you have something for, and if you can just do that with yourself, then the only person you're really hurting is you.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
Like nobody's ever gonna rob a bank by themselves, get away with it, and then not tell anybody ever.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Because then what's the point of it?
Yeah.
You do everything for other people, mostly.
Like, I could never be Batman because I'd just be like,
No.
guys.
I know. You'd be like,
Yeah.
dude, you never got that yesterday. You don't even
Hey,
understand.
how'd you get that black eye, Mike?
you're like-
You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, you don't
bro.
get it. You don't get
wouldn't
it.
understand.
Yeah, I'm like the worst person. If a secret's a secret, like if it's like truly not my business, like if it's about sexual assault or like something like that, I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? That's not mine to tell. But if it's like silly stuff, baby, you better.
Yeah.
If I learn somebody's fucking somebody, oh,
Yeah.
Hunter knows.
Well, that's that's the main reason I don't believe in like aliens or a vast majority of like conspiracies or anything.
That's a
like
fun jump. I like that. Yeah.
wait. Explain it.
There's aliens.
Okay.
Really? After what
Oh.
what we just discussed,
Yeah.
you're telling me Kevin Peterson is working at
Right.
at fucking Area 51, and then he just comes home with Pamela
Yeah.
Peterson and their 2 kids, and she's ragging on him for not spending enough time.
But what about stuff like
and
MK
forget-
Ultra? Like that was hidden for a really long time.
hidden? Because back then it was. I mean, that's just people getting high.
Well,
Like,
it's
like,
like
are you-
sleeper cells, no?
Yeah, like sleeper cell. But one of the sleeper cells was not Marilyn Manson. What's his name? Manson. Like another one of them was
Charles Manson?
Yeah, Charles Manson. Yes. One of the sleeper cells was Whitey Bulger. Like these are.
You get stuff within circles. Like a lot of people, like a lot of comics knew about the Cosby
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
It was
for
just
sure.
Hannibal set it to a circle larger than what already knew.
Right.
The quiet part out loud.
I think, yeah, a lot of conspiracies I think are known within small circles, and they're like, but don't tell anyone outside of these
Right.
6 people.
That's true.
That we're all
That's
tied
an
in.
interesting point.
But is that your bathroom, by the way?
It's upstairs to the right.
All right, I'm gonna go crush that.
Yeah,
real
go
quick.
for that.
Hell yeah.
Crush that.
Go for it. But yeah, like it takes a lot. So when they talk about, some people talk about like the 9/11 building conspiracy, you know,
sure.
that there was dynamite and bombs.
Right.
How?
Yeah. I
The
get what you
moon
mean.
landing?
Right.
So all right, so
Right.
you're gonna
This
teach.
many people cover that up.
Are you gonna teach FBI agents how to be actors, or are you gonna teach astronauts how to be FBI agents?
Right.
Because you need one of the two if you're gonna fake
Right.
it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then
I do know what you
everybody,
mean.
the key grip has to keep a secret. The craft services lady, who's bringing the sandwiches at the conspiracy
Yeah.
workshop? You know?
Yeah. I think about that even on like a small level of like therapists. Where like you can't talk about the shit that your clients say or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
certain a lot of them, or like HIPAA, any like doctor with HIPAA violations and stuff
Sure.
like that. It's like I'm sure a lot of them will spill a little something here and there.
course.
But like for the most part, you just got to keep your mouth shut about that shit. It's like even though Tiffany just cheated on her husband with his best friend and they have a secret
course.
love child and I can't tell anybody.
Of course.
That's crazy.
If you're a therapist and you date a therapist,
Oh my
you're
God.
spilling
Oh,
all
you
the beans.
have to, right?
It's because it's
Well, that's
trade-
perfect
it's
relationship.
trade. Yeah.
It's in the trade, and then you got it out,
Yeah.
and now it doesn't have to spread anywhere.
But then what do they
It's a
argue
closed
about?
circle. Yeah.
Because they're using all the psychological
Right. Yeah.
weapons against each other.
What
or
would you
whatever.
argue about as a therapist?
That would be even worse if they just had that passive, like smooth ASMR voice on each other when they're arguing.
I
but
almost
in,
wouldn't.
like,
Yeah, I
subtle
almost wouldn't
tones.
want to date somebody who's too emotionally healthy, because then I'd be like, I can't even argue with you. You're not even getting mad. Like I'm trying to piss you off, and then it would make me angrier.
There is something like there's a legitimate because talking about it earlier, like like anger, spite, jealousy, like those are some of the things that come with come with the training, or come with the sold as is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like at any point in time in your life, if you're 3 years old and you get a slice of pizza, and then your buddy, your brother, your sister gets a bigger slice of pizza,
Yeah.
you're gonna feel some kind of way about that.
Right.
And I like being mad sometimes. I like being
It
irrational.
is fun.
I like being petty.
Thank
sometimes.
you. Thank you.
Just
There's a time and a place for it, certainly.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you just need to be fucking petty. You
Yeah.
need to be an asshole. You need to be a little rude. You know, not in public to a stranger.
of course.
But like, if you're pissing me off, sometimes I'm gonna let you fucking know, and then maybe you'll get mad too. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll apologize later, and we'll move on from it. But
There's a reason
Gotta get it out.
there's 12 billion versions of the stuck in traffic joke.
right, we'll keep going though.
Yeah, we're going to keep making it because
Yeah.
it's one of the most petty existences you
Yeah.
can have. Not even to be funny about it. There's something, I am incapable of empathy, sympathy, any kind of pathy when I'm behind the wheel.
Yes.
It's impossible for me.
Yes, I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care that your grandma's dying. I care that you just cut me off.
Because I'm in my own personal domain.
Yeah.
But I'm fishbowling because
Yep.
I have windows so I can see you
I'm fishbowling.
also existing
Yeah.
in whatever your little
Yeah.
private bubble is.
Yeah.
And we can impinge on each other's lives.
Yep.
And so but at no point in time, the most like human I'll ever be is letting you in. Mm-hmm. If I let you cut in, you're coming out of the subway parking lot, and I hold up the rest of traffic to let you in, and then God,
That's like a true act of humanitarianism.
save your soul if you don't go like this.
Yes.
Because I will hunt you down and either throw boiling water or fire on you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. No, totally, dude. Totally. I'm one of those people too that if someone is like cuts me off or does something or whatever, like we've all done it. Like
Yeah.
it's not like I'm above doing it on accident
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
But I'll like just have the fucking cuntiest face on, and then the second they're like, "Sorry," I'm like, "No big deal. It's all good."
Oh, fine.
Yeah. Oh no.
And
You just acknowledge that you fucked up, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally, I could have the thoughts going through my mind until
Yeah.
you went.
Yeah, exactly. Then we're besties. Now we're immediate friends.
Now it's cool.
Yeah.
But the worst, what takes me over the edge and has probably ruined other things in my life just because I carry that energy from the car is after you do that bogus shit to me, and then I fucking John Wick through traffic to pull up next to you and just to see you just.
Yeah.
I'm right here. I'm
Yeah.
right here. I might as well be crawling through the window into
Yeah.
your passenger seat, and you're just.
Yeah.
I will not acknowledge you.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah, what do-
I just want to
Yeah.
tell you how stupid you are with
Yeah.
my
I want you
eyes.
to see it. Yep.
One thing I've tried when someone cuts me out or does something bad via car, I just tell myself that they have to shit really bad, and that's why they like ran that light.
That's
or
like
something.
a good empathetic response.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, you needed that. I understand.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like a fun little lie I can tell myself.
There is. I'm still carrying a middle finger from the alley behind this apartment. I'm pulling out, and the guy was cutting me off. He was trying to get in, and I was trying to get out, and he was like, and just started pulling off. But he gave me a minute, and I'm like, I need my revenge.
Yeah.
And I can't. I'll never get back to him. A good middle. You don't see middle fingers too often anymore.
No,
Do you do like this or do you do with the thumb?
I gotta get a lot of action.
I think a
in there.
thumb is really way worse.
and
Yeah,
this
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
support it. Yeah,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need that second. Yeah,
Because this is like you're building a castle.
Yeah.
This is a skyline.
Up to this, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
just has the Burj Khalifa.
bang bang, motherfucker.
Yeah. This is weird. This is like a hick. It was
Yeah.
like, come on, you're out of touch.
This is
old
childish.
man.
Grow
yeah.
up.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
if you get a nice little.
This is New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
dirty.
This is the Freedom Towers.
Yeah.
This is never forget.
Yep. Yeah, I like that thumb.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's rude.
Yeah. Did you want to tell the people how they can find you? Anything that you got going on that you want to promote?
Yeah, sure. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. I should get back on my TikTok. It's been a while. But as Kayley Drink Smoke, Kayley, Drink Smoke, because I'm cool.
Yeah.
And I just know I'm around Chicago. I'm around the Midwest a lot. I'll be in New Orleans.
You have a
in
room?
March.
You have a room?
A room?
You run a room?
Hunter and I both run co-produced Laughter Hours at the Lincoln Lodge on Fridays at 11, which is very fun with our friends Bob and Ariel. I also run Easy Laughs open mic on Wednesday nights and once a month on Sundays. And yeah. And
we're not going to just skiddly bop past it. When is this episode of you at the mothership popping up?
Good question. I don't actually have a date. They didn't give me one, but hopefully within the next month or so.
Okay.
Google my name. Come to Mothership
yeah.
Roast Battle.
That's Googleable. You'll be hella Googleable.
I'm
after
Googleable,
that.
baby.
Yeah.
I kicked his ass, by the way. 5-0.
I wasn't gonna ask because you can read the energy.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
If it didn't go well, then
I wouldn't even mention it. Yeah, I didn't go to Austin at all. If it didn't win. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't even know anybody named Austin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, this has been the Real Rap Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Knight. You can find me at Mike Knight Comedy on all the things. Please make sure you follow these groovy kids. You've already seen their information. Jamal, I don't have a Jamie. I have a Jamal. He's right over there. So Jamal, pop all their shit on him. And so make sure you keep tuning in, like, share, subscribe. Been Mike Knight, Real Rap Podcast. Love ya. We out. Peace.
Nice.
So fun. Thanks for having us.
That was awesome, dude. Thanks.
Now just hear my voice normal.